Example, when he was young, when he first came into the truth and he had learned about the Passover, he was talking about how he understands brothers, man, that they have struggles, and like the brother was saying earlier, when the Passover gets closer, things always seem to get hard.
Testifies.
Yeah, it intensifies. Well, Elder Tahar was talking about during this week, we're cutting our flesh. It's a week full of fasting. That's why we're eating nothing with leaven, and it's also. But he said it's cutting off the flesh. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's deeper than just taking food out of your house.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to yourself, individual. I'm telling you, the scriptures always bear witness to it.
Mm-hmm.
It goes deeper than just taking food out of your house, and that's a commandment. You got to take all leaven out of your house, all right. But also, within whatever you're dealing with as an individual, a spiritual man, that's contrary to the law. You gotta cut it out. But that doesn't mean for that 1 week and then you go back to it. You can't do that, because that's like one of the brothers on one of the live shows, they even made a comment saying that, yeah, a lot of guys are going to do the Passover and they're going to go back into the world. And you can't do that. You got to always continue to remain spiritual. And what the scriptures say, depart, for this is not your rest, for it shall destroy you with the sword of destruction. But we're still part of the world. I mean, we gotta live here and walk through here. But you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and read it. He's good.
Yes, sir. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous.
Yeah, because he was obedient. He was obedient to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
It says, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because the Most High had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased the Most High.
That he pleased the Most High. Read his testimony. Go ahead.
But without faith it is impossible. But without faith it is impossible to please him.
Without faith, it's impossible to please Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what we link that up with Romans 8. Go ahead.
But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Yeah, diligently seek him. Not just half-stepping and not just, you seek them for this a certain amount of time and then you're basically just kicking back. You got comfortable. You don't have to seek them out no more. Scriptures say in the Baruch, seek them out 10 times harder, or 10 times more. He's good. He's 10 times more. Go ahead.
By faith Noah.
Well, that's it on there. Go ahead and go back to.
And also, right there, like the brother's talking about, they did everything that the Most High commanded them to do. They didn't give an excuse, But and like what Elder Tahar was talking about, coming into the Passover, a lot of brothers, they got women and everything. But Elder Tahar was talking about how it's basically a week you have to cut that off too. And he said that when he first came into the truth, he was actually like heavy into love or not in love, but he was heavy into a relationship with a woman. Like when they were just first starting out. So he understood it was hard. He said it was a hard thing, but that's the whole thing about cutting off the flesh. We've been going our whole lives according to the flesh, so we gotta. This is the time where we can really focus, a time given by the Most High to really concentrate and cast it all out. The Most High, it's the Passover, man. This is a day where we reflect on all our sufferings, all our mess ups. The scriptures tell you in Amos that you got to bear the indignation of the Lord because we have sinned. This is a time to get right. And it's a serious thing, man, because come Tuesday, it's not going to be it's not going to just be a regular day. It's going to be a heavy spiritual day.
Anything can happen from now and even after. It's not, to you brothers that are new into this thing, because we're all babes, but you brothers that are new into it, a year, 2 years, 3 years maybe, it's gonna be harder for you. But brothers that have been in it 5 years plus, you really don't have no more excuses. We don't have any more excuses. You know what I'm saying? That whole playing saying that, oh, I'm the weak brother and all that stuff. No, you can't. That's not an excuse to be holding anymore, because that could be your actual downfall.
I was just telling him to take it. I was just telling him to take it.
Good. Okay. And that can be your downfall. You know what I'm saying? You got to continue to have a mindset. You know, you got to have confidence. You know, like I was saying, these people in the world, they go out to these damn workout sessions or whatever they do, basketball, football, you know, break dancing. They have complete confidence in their mind. There's no fear. You know what I'm saying? They're not using anything to block them to accomplish what their set goal is to fulfill. It's the same thing with us when we come into this truth. We can't let our minds defeat us. You know, the world to defeat us. But what did Yahushua say in 2 Timothy? That we're good soldiers of Yahushua Mashiach. What is a soldier? A soldier is somebody that will he fights. A soldier's not weak, so you can't use that as an excuse. Yeah, you brothers that are first coming in, of course it's going to be very hard for you. And we made videos, the elders made videos, all the camps made videos on how very difficult it is when you first come into this thing. But we're in a time where you gotta tighten up. You gotta tighten up all loose ends. See what I'm saying? Because if not, you're gonna be destroyed. These spirits are powerful, man. They'll find anything to feed off of you and they'll fucking destroy you. If the mercy and the spirit of Yahushua ain't on you, those demons are going to kill you, man. They're going to destroy you. That's why you got to have mercy and be humble, especially every day. But when we come into this Passover, you better be humble, because that death angel's coming over, man. That's what you fail to realize. It's a spiritual thing. The death angel's coming over, and you ain't got that blood on your doorpost talking about your mind, your body, you're going to be destroyed. Go ahead and get Matthew, hold that, get Matthew, was it 6, straight gate?
Yeah, 7 and 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good point about the Passover in this one. Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye and at the straight gate.
Yeah, that word straight, you go back into the Greek, and that word straight, it goes back to the word hardness, to endure, and that's to make hard. And it's a difficult path, all right? And it's that path, if you're the elect, it's the path that's going to build you and make you hard, all right? That's what that word straight means, is to be faced with difficulty. Go ahead.
It says, enter ye and at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Right.
And many there be which go in thereat.
Many there be going thereat. And it's talking about all these 2/3, man. And they all have the same spirit, man. The spirit of pride, the spirit that they have their own way, their own interpretation. That's that broad way. That's that self-worship. They worship the creature more than they do the Creator. There's a big difference between them two. You got people out here that get all tatted up and they're still giving praises to the Lord. Who fucking does that? And the scriptures tell you that you can't be doing shit like that. You can't be doing shit like that. You can't be smoking cigarettes. You can't be smoking drugs. What do they call them? An occasional drug user. But then they're still giving glory to the Lord, saying the Lord blessed me. No, the Lord's about to fucking tear you up, man. The Most High is about to jack y'all people up. And y'all people are, like the scriptures say, awake out of sleep. That's when y'all finally gonna wake up. Whenever a big ass Edomite got you by your throat, and his homeboy got a fucking shotgun next to your head about to blow your shit away. That's really gonna happen, man. And they're showing you how to do all these rallies with Donald Trump. That dude is stirring up a lot of demons, man. A lot of hateful demons that are inside these Edomites. And they're ready to get it to come at you, Jakes, man. This thing is for real. It ain't no coincidence. It ain't no thing that's gonna blow over. This thing is actually gonna go down. The Third World War, man. And if you ain't got the blood of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on you, you're going to be destroyed. And that's just plain and clear. That's what the scriptures bear witness to. Go ahead.
It says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Yeah, and it leads to life. That's that difficult path, man. That straight gate. And it's narrow. Only one man can go there and that. At one at a time. I can't save this brother, he can't save me. You can have 20 in the camp, and brothers have to walk. Every brother has to walk their own straight path. In their proper order. One after another. Being faced whatever that Yahushua puts them through. But it's to refine you, it's to build you up, it's to make you a stronger spiritual man. Not no strong carnal man. Go ahead.
That was on that one.
That was it on there?
But I got this one for Hebrews 11, Hebrews 11 and 24. It says, by faith Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. You know, that's what's going on right now. You know, because everything is the way it is. People have the saying, you know, you can't beat it, join it. You know, and like I guess there are not brothers, but people, guys out there that are just gonna go right back to the world or just do what they were doing. They're gonna act like this is serious and then just go back. The thing about the truth, man, is we practice it. We rehearse it honestly, to the best of our ability. You know, we don't celebrate the Passover or acknowledge the Passover all serious, and then as soon as we're done, like, oh, let's, you know, now we can relax. You know, they can just go back and just go out and preach and everything. It remains serious.
Yeah, so you're supposed to have a mind frame of awareness, and that's throughout your whole day. We walk in the paths of perilous times. That's what we live in. All right, and we are our worst enemy, so we always have to constantly watch ourselves, because nobody else is gonna do it.
It says, esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Yeah, you saw that the rewards that Yahushua was going to promise were better than the things that the world would offer. Because today it's known as, America is spiritually known as Egypt. So, you know, it'll offer you all types of things, man. But you're not supposed to go that route. Like the brothers say, you can give somebody a fucking Xbox, $20, and some cigarettes, and a six-pack, and they're in heaven. That's their world. You know, it don't take much to destroy somebody. Go ahead.
By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king.
Yep.
For he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith he kept the Passover.
Yeah, like the scriptures say, fear him that is able to destroy the body and the spirit. And that's talking about Yahushua. Alright, and it's the same thing. As Moses didn't fear Pharaoh. He didn't fear those men, those great men in that time. He put his trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
That says, through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. And that's basically it, right?
And that's what's going to touch a lot of you people that are not right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's going to cut you out. And you can do it however he wants. He can have you put out just by someone saying, hey, you're no longer part of us. Or he can have you killed, man. It's like that guy from the Seattle camp that was being kicked out prior years ago. Fell down from a 5-story building and broke his back. You know, and now, what? That's not a sign of Yahweh Shem Yahushua dealing with him. You know, that's a sign of fucking judgment was put on him. So, all these testimonies are to scare you, man, to wake you up out of sleep. For your salvation is nearer than we believe. Because Yahushua is not playing, man. We're getting closer to his return. Can't forget the RFID chip is going to be pushed, man. The mark of the beast. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's the chip, that's the mark. And if you take that, you're gonna be destroyed. What do you got there?
Romans 8 and 12. More of the flesh.
Okay, go ahead.
Romans 8 and 12. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh.
Yeah, we're not debtors to our flesh, man. Yahweh came and reconciled us back to Yahweh. So we're debtors to his sake, for his sake, the Spirit. What Paul said, he's a prisoner of Yahweh Mashiach. All right, so we're supposed to go and fulfill the Ecclesiastes 12. What is the whole conclusion of the matter? You know, fear God and obey His commandments. So that's what we got to do. Go ahead.
Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if you live after the flesh, ye shall die.
Yep, you shall die, man. You want to live upon your own mind, what your mind wants to perceive and think about what's right for you. Then Yahweh is going to have you killed. He's going to have you destroyed. He's going to have you kicked out. Because you were following after your own way. The way that you thought was right for you. The Most High will only be so merciful for so long. But when that thing, when you know it for sure is when you're out. When you're completely out of the truth. You don't believe in anything that it says anymore. You got kicked out. That's when you will know the Lord is completely done with you. And this is the time to get your act together, man. And I speak to all those brothers. All those brothers are on the same mind frame. You got to get your shit together. Like the elders say, this is the year of the push. And if you ain't right, you're going to get pushed out. You're going to get moved out the way because we ain't got time for stragglers. We ain't got time for all this, well, I feel this way, I feel that way. No, you got to just do what the Lord said to do, and that's it. And man up. Go ahead.
For if you live after the flesh, ye shall die. Mm-hmm. But if you through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live.
Yep, you got to mortify, and that's to cut out those things that are not needed in the spirit of you, of your temple. Going back to that whole leaven situation, that whole leaven, you got to get rid of all leaven. That's you cutting out that wickedness. All right, and you read it again.
It says, for if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live.
Yeah, you shall live. So you got to mortify that leaven that remains on you. That you got to trim off that fat and cut it out. Anything that's hindering you from following the Lord to the best of your ability, because we can all go harder. We all can push harder. You know what I'm saying? So that's that leaven, and you got to get rid of it. You got to cut it out, whatever it may be. A woman, holding on to kids, holding on to the world, whatever. The world can come in many forms. It's not just being out in the city, because we all go out in the city. We all work in the city. We all go pay bills in the city. We all go shop in the city. So it's talking about things that you hold that are hindrance to what you're supposed to do, to your full potential. Go ahead.
This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 7. It says, "You did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth?
Yep.
This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you." You know.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shai never told you to stop, or Yahweh Shai never told you to give your mind or your heart completely over to your woman, to your wife, to your family. You know, He told you what you had to do. You know, He told you you gotta follow me. You gotta pick up your cross and endure hardships. You know what I'm saying? And if things are, like I said, and the scriptures bear witness to it, if things that are a hindrance to you, you gotta cut them out. Because the Most High is only gonna be long suffering for so long. And if you don't do it, He's going to do it for you. And He's going to do it in a way that you deserve, man. Because He gave you a chance to get right. Okay, go ahead, read that part again. Start from the verse you started at.
It's Galatians 5 and 7. You did run well. Who did hinder you? Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth?
Yeah, who did hinder you that you shouldn't obey the truth? You know, we already read to you that the mind is wicked above all things. We already told you that you are your worst enemy. You can't put your trust in no man. That's talking about yourself. Trust not in thyself. But that's the world. The world tells you that. Believe in yourself. You're supposed to trust Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and the brotherhood. Anything else outside of that is wickedness. Because Zerubbabel in First Esdras proves and says that all things are wicked. The women are wicked, children are wicked, everything's wicked. Besides this, the truth is that remains the supreme power, man. And there's nothing else. You go outside of that, you're working wickedness. Go ahead and finish it.
It said, this persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you.
Yeah, he don't persuade you. He's not teaching you that doctrine. Esau's teaching the world that doctrine. Because he called us to follow the Spirit, this book. Alright? That you people are like, oh, this book. Yeah, this book. You have this book that's compiled with words, but you don't even know. You think words are just floating in the air for you to grab them and place them on your fucking table for you to see them. Spiritual things, man. Go ahead.
It says, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump.
A little leaven, where you at?
Galatians 5 and 9.
Go ahead.
A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump.
Yeah, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So that leaven is gonna, you put a little bit of leaven in a fucking, like, a 50 barrel of wheat or something like that, and you throw a little bit of leaven in there, it's going to eventually defile all that. It don't take much. Just like one bad apple, one rotten apple will destroy the whole batch. You know? The process of the decaying process, it will be sped up from that one bad apple. So that's why you gotta separate. Even when you have like a plant, you're supposed to pluck off all the dead branches and get rid of them. You know, you take away all that shit that's not needed, throw it away, and feed it and give it its proper sunlight and everything. In this proper amount of water. So it says a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So that leaven, we'll get it here in 1 Corinthians 5. Okay. But after that, stay in that same chapter, because we're going to read
down. But you said 1 Corinthians
5. And it says that your glorying is not glorying.
Yeah. You want me to start at that one?
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 5 and 6. Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?
Yeah, your glorying is not good. Thinking that, oh, well, I'm in a good case. I know Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I know I'm an Israelite. Yeah, I go onto the highways every weekend. I do sit-downs. But it's not just doing that. It's about applying everything in your life and rehearsing these acts and applying them to your life and in every decision that you make in your life when you walk. You know, you gotta that's what you should be glorying in, because the scriptures say, let no man glory in the rich, let no rich man glory or the proud glory, but he that knows and has a knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, he's the one that's going to be glorified. You get it now?
Okay.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, that was on the right page. Jeremiah 9 and 23. Thus said the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he that understandeth and knoweth me.
He that understandeth. What does the scripture say in Proverbs? Get understanding, but get wisdom, but with all that getting, get understanding, right?
Yep.
So you got to understand this thing. You got to understand that you got to apply it to you in every action, everything you do, because that could be your potential downfall. You always got to apply the wisdom or your knowledge. Read it again.
It says, but thus saith the Lord, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me.
Yep.
that I am the Lord which exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth.
There you go. So you better, we have to, if we're coming in this thing, you know, in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you better have the same doctrine, you better have the same mindset, you better have the same understanding, the same spirit. Because if not, he's gonna cut it out. You know?
It's like the brothers in Dallas talked about, you know, in this present time, man, as much as we struggle, as much as every man struggles together in the truth, you know, they made a good point. Even though we're in the truth, we still wouldn't be able to rule in this time in the kingdom, as a kingdom, you know, because we struggle, when we struggle according to our own flesh. It's just saying that our natural selves, and each of us as individuals, man, we already know the scriptures tell us, man, we're nothing. You know, and the scriptures tell you in, I believe, is it Mark or Luke, there was a I can't remember what the type of man. He was like basically a highly esteemed man, and then you had a publican or a sinner, and they were both praying together. And Yahushua was saying which one was more justified, the one who was talking about saying that he fasts 2 times a day or something like that, and you know he goes to the temple and sacrifices, or the man that, you know, beat his chest and basically acknowledged what he was. He was a sinner. He messed up. You know, we're in a time where we're sick. We're all sick. And our righteousness, man, is not good. That's why the Lord had to make an elect. That's why the Lord has a thing called mercy. Otherwise, we would all be dead. Because the way we continue to think is not good. The way we mess up, and knowing that we're in the flesh, especially the flesh, that's what the whole point is. We should all be dead. So, you know, for you to be having this mindset that, you know, you go out all the time or whatever you do, you fast all the time, you know, that's not, the Lord he's not looking at someone like that. He's looking at a man who's really being sincere, trying to fight.
A broken, contrite spirit.
What? The one in Corinthians?
Hold that and get a second address. Oh, I'll read it.
Okay.
This is second address 4 and 30. For the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much godliness hath it brought, and how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time.
Yeah, we got the whole world in general. Everybody has a long track record of evil in them that they've done, that we've all done. So for you to say in this time, however many years you've been born or whatever you've been in the truth, compared to the time that you've been reincarnated and you've been going off, and then you want to say now that you're doing something good, and now you deserve to be saved because you're in the truth now, it's not, you know, that's not right. The Lord wants you to continue. The Lord tells you all through the scriptures, all the old and the prophets, that you got to be constantly acknowledging. You got to when you pray that you be forgiven of your forefathers' sins and your sins, because you came off of them, you know, and you continue to do what you did. It took the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to intervene in this world for you to wake up. You wouldn't have woken up had he not done this, you know. So, you know, just having that mindset is not good.
Yeah, like the scriptures say that he that shall be saved shall has to endure to the end. So you know, we don't know, but that doesn't mean that we can just go off. All right, that doesn't mean that we can just do whatever we want. There's order, and like soldiers in the military, they can't just do what they want. They can't come out in the city and get in trouble, because if they do, they have to what? Fucking deal with their commanding officers, and there's a good possibility that they could get kicked out just by acting a fool out here in public. So they have to conduct themselves wisely. So how much more not us? You doing things that men they can't see. Like men can't see everything Yahushua does. So he's gonna make moves. So we always gotta remember that. Alright? I'm gonna finish reading this. Second address 4 and 30. For the grain of evil seed has been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness hath it brought unto this time, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come. See, I mean, it's gonna increase. It's increasing in our time. All right, because we're approaching that time. Ponder now thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth. And like the brothers, we're the ones that are witnessing that. You 2/3, they love evil, man. They love that it's increasing. They love that they have access to every heart's desire. At a click of a button, you can have anything you want. You see what I'm saying? But the elect are the ones that are sighing and crying about